What's going on, everybody? Welcome in the Vikings Now. I'll be your host for today's show, Patrick Seatman. Coming up on today's show, we're going to be, again, talking about trading Dalvin Cook. So rumors are continuing to swirl after the NFL draft. Also going to be touching on Za'Darius Smith, some teams that could be possibly trading for Za'Darius Smith, because after the NFL draft, I am almost 100% certain he will get traded. And then also the Ravens declined the fifth-year option on linebacker Patrick Queen. The Vikings have a need at the linebacker position. We'll be talking about them possibly trading for Patrick Queen. But first, you guys should hit that subscribe button. Number one, if you just love the Minnesota Vikings. Two, hate the Packers as much as I do. And just an all-around NFL junkie. Any news, rumors around the league, you just love talking about it. You love listening to anything around the NFL. And we also got you with daily videos. Help me out. Hit that subscribe button. It's completely free. Best way to help out us here at Vikings Now. Let's talk about it. Trading for Dalvin Cook, or I guess trading Dalvin Cook. So the Dalvin Cook trade rumors are continuing to swirl after the Vikings drafted UAB running back Dwayne McBride. You know, I thought if the Vikings went into the running back and went into the draft and ignored the running back position, I thought maybe there would be a chance that Dalvin Cook potentially stays on this roster. But after they drafted Dwayne McBride, I'm thinking it's leaning towards, I don't know. I think it's going to be a 50-50 split whether he's there or not. I don't really have a case either way. But some Dalvin Cook trade destinations and teams he could be going to. Could be the Baltimore Ravens. I think they're in the running back market. Could also be the Buffalo Bills. Team him up with his brother, James Cook. I think that would be pretty cool. Cincinnati, they did draft the running back, but I think they could be in the market as well. Denver Broncos, they need one with Javonte Williams coming off his torn ACL. And always the Miami Dolphins. I mean, Dalvin's been connected to his hometown team. It feels like hundreds of times throughout this offseason. But for now, my overall take with this Dalvin Cook, I think Dalvin Cook is a Viking. I think with the way the Vikings have kind of handled this whole situation, I think they're going to try to sandpaper this and keep him on the roster. I just don't think they're going to be pulling off a trade anytime soon. Because right now the Vikings have legit 6 names that I think could make the roster. I mean, obviously you got Dalvin Cook. If he's on the team, okay, be it. He's going to be getting a roster spot. Alexander Mattison, he's for sure getting a roster spot. They re-signed him. So that's 2. Then Kene Nwangwu, he's going to be your special teams return guy. He's also going to get some touches on offense. That's 3. Ty Chandler, 6th-round pick after last year. That should be 4. And then C.J. Ham, the fullback, he has to make the roster. You re-signed him as well. That should get it up to 5. So that's why I'm overall curious here. Who makes this Vikings roster at the running back position? Because you obviously got to throw C.J. Ham into there. But at most, you see teams carry 5 running backs. You will never see a team carry 6 running backs on their roster. So if Dalvin Cook stays, it's for sure Dalvin, and then it's Madison, and then you got Kene Nwangwu and Ty Chandler, that's 4, and then probably C.J. Ham as the 5. So I think Dwayne McBride, the 7th rounder out of UAB, who I loved him coming out of the draft, he might be the odd man out here. But keep your eyes on the running back position. I'm just curious to see who actually makes this Vikings team following the NFL draft. But this will be the pinned comment on today's show. Will Dalvin Cook be a Viking next season? Before this, I was saying 70% chance he gets traded. Now I'm kind of 50-50. I do think for now he will be on the roster. But give me a Y for yes, N for no. YouTube's going to throw an ad break your way. Let it play. Go down. Answer today's pinned comment. Let's talk about Za'Darius Smith, because trade rumors are also continuing to swirl after the Vikings signed UDFA free agent Andre Carter the 3rd, or actually the 2nd. That's my bad. But I absolutely love Andre Carter. He is an absolute dog from Army. His 2021 season was one of the best seasons we've seen in college football from the edge position. I mean, look at those numbers. 33 tackles, 14.5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 17 tackles for loss. Andre Carter is an absolute dog, and I need Andre Carter to be a Minnesota Viking. I need him to be on this team. I would love for him to team up with a Danielle Hunter, a Patrick Jones, and Marcus Davenport. Those would be my 4 edge rushers heading into the season. I love Andre Carter. I expect him to be a huge developmental piece, because Tom Downey mentioned it. You guys saw it in the video yesterday. You think about it. He's training for the Army right now at Army. You get him in an NFL program where he doesn't have to focus on classes and all that extra stuff that those players have to do at Army, and he can just strictly focus on football. That 6'7", 265 frame. I'll be incredibly interested to see how he develops for the Minnesota Vikings, and I think he could be the steal of this UDFA class. There's also another steal we'll talk about here in a second. But Za'Darius Smith, let's talk about him. This past season, obviously, he started off the season great. He was tied for the league in sacks after Week 8, finished only with 10 sacks. He had a forced fumble and 15 tackles for a loss. But my prediction was Za'Darius, I think he gets traded. I think they're going to try to get a 5th, 6th round pick for him. Apparently, there was some bad locker room vibes from Za'Darius at the later half of last season. I think he was a great locker room guy at the first half of the season last year, but apparently he started to rub some people the wrong way, some coaches, some other players at the second half of this season. So I think Za'Darius, he'll probably get moved. He obviously did request to be cut earlier at the start of free agency. So I think the Vikings, if a team throws him a 4th, 5th for an edge rusher, you have to take it. And honestly, I think they will. Overall, Za'Darius Smith, I don't think he's going to be on the Vikings next season. But, I mean, I guess I'll ask you guys, will the Vikings trade Za'Darius Smith? Give me a T for trade or give me an S for stay down in the comment section. I'm thinking he's going to get traded. I'll be typing my T's for trade down there. That's just my overall take. I think Dalvin Cook, he should stay. But Za'Darius Smith, I think he's going to be moving elsewhere. Guys, we also have Jordan Addison jerseys. He's going to be wearing number 3. This is just a placeholder right now for Fanatics. Chatsports.com/Vikings jersey. Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson, I can't wait to see that duo play again. Addison's going to be an absolute dog for this team. I'm going to get his jersey probably here in the short future. I'm going to go into chatsports.com/Vikings jersey. He's going to be wearing number 3, so when you get your jersey, don't worry. It will have the number 3 on it. Go check it out, chatsports.com/Vikings jersey. Now let's talk about it. Trading for Patrick Queen. The Ravens declined his 5th-year option this morning. He was a first-round pick coming out of from LSU, and he is an absolute, I'm going to say absolute dog, but he's a hell of a football player. He actually stuffed the stat sheet a little bit this past season. I mean, 117 tackles, 5 sacks, and 9 tackles for loss with 6 pass breakups. I mean, Patrick Queen, good football player. Don't know if he's living up to that first-round hype he had coming out of the draft, but overall, I like him, and the Vikings clearly have a need at the linebacker position. You know my man, Brian Asamoah, 3rd rounder out of Oklahoma last season. I absolutely love him. I've been calling him future Pro Bowler, future All-Pro Brian Asamoah. Then we got Jordan Hicks at the linebacker, too. That's not going to be there for that long because if you guys see under linebacker 1, it's Ivan Pace Jr. Shout out to producer Trace. That's his boy. I expect Ivan Pace Jr. It may not be at week 1, but Ivan Pace and Brian Asamoah will be the starting linebackers at some point this season. Overall, though, I do think the Vikings do need to add another linebacker. I like what Jordan Hicks did last year. I didn't love it. I actually thought he was going to be cut. But you see Ivan Pace, you see Brian Asamoah. Those two should be the future linebackers, but I wouldn't be opposed of adding another linebacker in there. Brian Flores, he loves those versatile types of players, those linebackers that can play edge, play a little nickel linebacker, whatever it may be. I think maybe you got to try to target another guy such as Patrick Queen. However, Ivan Pace is making this team. Shout out to producer Trace because he put me on him early on this offseason. I love this guy. I mean, you guys didn't see my reaction yesterday, but I love Ivan Pace. I'm so happy he's a Viking. He hits. He does all the little things you want at the linebacker position. I'm shocked he went undrafted, but I'm also extremely happy he went undrafted because the Vikings got him and Andre Carter as a UDFA. 2 steals. I think those two, maybe not Andre Carter for sure, but I'm willing to bet 100% Ivan Pace will be a part of that 53-man roster. Can't wait to see him play. God, him and Brian Asamoah, it's going to be awesome. But let me know, should the Vikings add another linebacker to this roster? Hey, I don't disagree with you if you say, hey, we're good. We got Jordan Hicks, Brian Asamoah, and now obviously Ivan Pace. We're chilling at the linebacker position, but let me know, should the Vikings add another linebacker to this roster? If you got a name in mind, also drop him in the comments section. So normally at the end of the videos, we do real one roll calls. I'm just going to switch it up right here because a lot of you guys just type real one, who I don't think are actually real ones and watching it all the way. So if you made it this far on the video, just give me a skull down in the comment section. I want to look in like US Bank Stadium on game day. I'll be responding to every single person that gives me a skull in the comment section. See you guys next time. Skull Vikes.